your hormones in your reproductive system to be able to go from like 2 miscarriages and everything else to pregnant by September. Well, obviously you were pregnant in August.
Yeah.
Like that's a really short amount of time, even though, you know, for you, it probably felt like an eternity.
But you're right. It wasn't, and it definitely isn't. And it was again, just age-based that I was having that freak out, you know, because you're right. That was not long. It was not long the first time that I got pregnant. Sorry, that's the binging on.
I was like, I don't know if that's you or if that's me binging, because mine goes off all day long too. So.
On my computer that I don't know how to turn off.
That's fine.
But yeah,
I'm sure everybody will forgive us.
It was not a long time, and so that's what's kind of laughable about it. But that's it. It's the month after month, and every woman can relate to that. But also, I think just because I was like, I'm approaching 42 now, you know, so you know.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, I mean, I say it all the time and I write it a lot. It's like the ticking time bomb more than the ticking clock at that point, right? Like everybody just makes you feel so panicked. Like you have your own internal panic about your age, right? But then when you see fertility specialists or you read, like you Google all the things like we all do, right? Everything you see is, well, you know, at your age, at this age, you're almost out of time, your egg quality is poor, like your chances, are so small. And so you kind of get in your head and every month feels like a lifetime. Yeah. So I'm really obviously super excited that it worked out the way it did and that you didn't end up doing the IVF, which was your goal from the start. That's amazing.
And you know, I say that knowing IVF has helped so many women.
Oh yeah.
Closest friends. My husband's cousin currently is pregnant, just a little ways behind me from IVF.
How fun.
Yeah, it's fabulous. But we all have our, you know, ways we want to go about things. And I mean, as I said, I was ready to go down that road too.
Yeah.
So I was, which is the purpose of you both, is I was convinced that it could still happen. I was determined that it could still happen at my age, at every, you know, with everything. Right. So
yeah. And like we say all the time too, like IVF definitely has its place and can be wonderful. And there's some women, regardless of what they do, are going to have to do IVF. But all of the things that you did before that, had you gone into IVF, like your chances of success and, you know, how you would feel after and the pregnancy and all of that, you're just in so much a better place because you did prepare your body.
Yeah.
So you know, luckily we didn't go that route, but if you had to, you know, it still would have paid off.
That was it too, is I thought, you know, even that's where my mental thinking was at that point also, is I was like, well, I'm about to do this very costly, hopeful procedure. And so with that, you want to be in the best place also. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the amount of money and emotion and time and everything that you have to invest to do IVF. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you want to prepare your body as much as humanly possible to have a better chance, you know? Absolutely. So I'm curious if you don't mind sharing, because this is a question we get a lot, is obviously the goal was pregnancy. Yes. Which you got, which is amazing. But what changes did you see before that? Because I think what happens so often for women when they've tried so many things, tried for so long, been working at this, it's almost unbelievable when someone says, you know, you can improve your chances of getting pregnant. It's like almost too good to be true and too good to believe. And so we talk a lot about what are the signs that you're doing the right things, you're healing your reproductive system, balancing your hormones, and getting closer to the point where your body's ready. So I'm curious, like, what you noticed and any changes that you felt before you got the positive pregnancy test.
I mean, I think the biggest thing that sticks out was obviously the headaches I was experiencing, because that was such a major symptom I was having. So, and that was something that seemed to be just very new since having had the miscarriage. So obviously, you know, I remember the day I didn't show my face, but jumped on to say, guys, I have a great thing to tell you, because getting through.
Like, no, I'm not pregnant. That's not the thing.
I said that. I was like, well, it's not the thing we're all wanting. I was like, this is a big thing still. And it was like, for me, that was it. It was like this little kind of seed of hope of like, I'm getting a step closer to my ultimate goal. is how I felt, because to me, it was so hormonally related.
Right.
Was not having the headache. And, every month I'd approach my period and it was like, I dreaded it because it was so awful to go through those few days. I was like foggy headed and it was a horrible feeling. So the first month that came around where I wasn't experiencing that was huge, and just like a big sign for me of hope. And then, I think what comes with the course is like just even small things like all the recipes that you guys do. And I was learning to cook with foods I never knew of before. And again, and that's coming from someone who felt like she knew quite a bit. So, I like that part of it was super exciting for me. And learning a lot about, certain foods and such that really help with hormonal balance and blood sugar stabilizing and everything like that. So I think that was really eye-opepening. And again, like any course you take in life, it's always exciting to kind of learn something new. And my husband loved all the food, and
oh yay,
and just like that aspect of it. And I'm sure, I mean, like just general kind of like health. I think you just have this feeling about you knowing that that's your focus every day. You feel better, you're sleeping better, all the things that come with kind of, a really well-balanced diet. So
awesome.
I think I just had that sense that everything was now on like a really nice track, and coming from everything we learned in the course. So
amazing. Yeah, I distinctly remember when you came on, because you were so excited that you got rid of the headaches, and I was so excited for the same reason. And you had connected that so quickly, which we don't always do when we're like in the trenches trying to fix stuff, right? Like we're so focused on the pregnancy. But I was just so excited that you really had connected, like I didn't get the brain fog, I didn't get the headache. That means like things are going the way they're supposed to, like not just that's gone, which is amazing, and you felt so much better, but that meant you were a step closer to your body ready to conceive and carry a baby, which is amazing. And it's like when you're in such a hard journey, because infertility is, I will always say, one of the hardest journeys that women will ever face. But when you're in that, it's so easy to fixate on the end goal in the pregnancy. And grabbing those wins and knowing you're doing the right things and you're getting a step closer and your hormones are balancing and your body is healing is so huge to keep you going, right? And keep you doing the right things, stay motivated and all of it.
And you're completely right, because of course you're wanting the pregnancy, but it almost gave me a separate focus. I was like, I want that to happen so much, but I was so excited about the headaches going away. And so excited about feeling like my body was getting more balanced, that it was almost like this side goal going on with the bigger goal kind of at the end of it. So, and that's it. I wanted to kind of feel proud and excited about the fact that had happened. Because then the more you're immersed in it, the more you're kind of interested in just general hormonal balance and such. So but kind of became like a side passion for me, understanding more and more about it. And again, in the hopes of having a pregnancy. Right.
But now you understand it, which pays dividends for you over your entire life, right? Because hormones don't just matter when we're having a baby. That tends to be when we focus on them, but it matters for everything, for all of your health. I mean, first of all, who wants to have miserable cycles when you know you're going to have that every single month? Like that's terrible.
But then what we all deal with as women for so many years, right? Prior to even thinking about pregnancy, you're like, this is how it is. It's terrible. Like there's nothing to do. And you're like, no one gives you guidance on that. So you have to get to a place like struggling with fertility or something to even open your eyes to this idea of hormone balance, and that the cycles don't have, that was totally news to me too, when you guys would say like, you don't have to go through all those things. Like you actually shouldn't have horrible cramps every month. It's like, oh, I just thought that's what it was.
Right. Because that's what we're told. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wish, and it's the bane of my existence now, that it's not taught in health classes and that information isn't disseminated by doctors. And because the number of women who come to us with the goal of getting pregnant, but then in talking to them, they've been suffering.